I called 911. No help comes from me. No help. We were on our own and we were left to die.
What's going on in Aurora, Colorado should be one of the biggest news stories in this country right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a Venezuelan gang of migrants has taken over an apartment complex in Aurora and is forcing the tenants to pay them rent. They're, of course, heavily armed, and the landlord has no outlet for assistance. These people are essentially trapped, being held hostage in their own homes by this gang of migrants. It said they're going block by block, apartment complex by apartment complex to establish themselves in that area. They're also looting places like Target and stores and things like that. Look up these videos. It's absolutely insane. Aurora PD, FBI, DEA, what are they doing? Nothing. There's nothing they can do about it. I'm sorry, is this the American dream or is this the Venezuelan dream? And guys, this isn't on the border. This is happening in Colorado. This is the Midwest. Go to the comments. Let me know if you've heard of this, if you live in this area. What is going on, and is anyone doing anything to stop it?
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right, so in today's episode, we're going to be reacting to the very viral situation that has been going on in Aurora, Colorado.
So many people on social media have been complaining that the chaos that is being experienced right now in Aurora is not getting enough media coverage. They further on go to say that authorities down there, they're not doing anything to help people from Aurora, Colorado. And this is majorly because of the Venezuelan gang and the chaos they're causing down there.
Right, so the question to you, our audience, is what do you think can be done to curb this problematic situation? Let us know down in the comment section. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here. Let's watch and then we come back and talk about it.
An apartment building in Aurora that has had a double shooting and a 13-hour SWAT standoff within the last few weeks has a claim to it by the property owners that it has been violently taken over by a Venezuelan gang. Activists, on the other hand, claim that this is a racial discrimination in a way to shift the blame by the owner of the property. The city of Aurora has deemed this property a nuisance property, labeling it with many violations. As you guys can see, broken windows, rats, water leaking through the ceiling, windows being broke, packed up, trash all over. Reports have even came in saying that the Aurora Police Department doesn't even want to show up to this property based on the issues that it consistently has every single day. The mayor of Aurora said this.
If you know Aurora, then what you know is we have areas in our city, unfortunately, that have been overtaken and that we have to take back.
The property owner has stopped paying the water bill, and due to all the infractions that it has, the landlord either has to comply and get all these fixed, or come this next Tuesday, all residents will be notified that they have to be out of this apartment complex by the following Wednesday. Where they'll go, I don't know, but we can guess, right?
So y'all, these migrants are getting worse, and a lot of the media is not covering it. A 19-year-old Venezuelan migrant just literally shot two police officers in New York City, NYPD, at point blank. He shot them at point blank range. Now they have him in custody and he's being charged, but what they are saying is that he basically is stating that a gang is instructing him to shoot at cops. Now we know what has happened in Aurora, Colorado. If y'all don't know, it's not even happening in just Aurora. Now it's transferring to even Denver, Colorado. What is happening is there are squatter laws in Colorado, and what squatter laws are, the fact that they even still exist in Colorado and it is legal, it blows my mind. The apartment building in Colorado was actually condemned because of the code violations. Now, what tenants was saying is that they were threatening the management or the people that was over the building and not allowing staff to come into the building to like fix it up and things of that nature. Sanctuary city. So Colorado is a sanctuary city, and what that does is it limits I don't know how much of it is true, but I heard that they were waiting for the older tenants to move out, and then they would move in other tenants and would be taking the money and rent from those tenants. Now, also in Denver, I'm hearing that they broke into many gun stores, and they are trying to do the same thing in Denver. Not only that, we have to be mindful of who we let all of those younger age men come over to the border. We did not lock the border down. And I remember doing a video talking about the border. And here's what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with immigrants coming over here, especially when they have dealt with the things that they deal with in their different countries, giving them an opportunity. That's not the point. But the proper thing to do is literally making sure we are coming over their background. Without proper management, this makes no sense. And when I talked about it last time, a lot of people was in my comments trying to come for me. But look, now y'all see what is happening. And then the media is not even reporting or even trying to talk about this. They're trying to push this under the rug. But not only that, the resources that our country is spending on these migrants that have came over, we already know with the EBT and how they have been supportive to these migrants who have came over into our country blows my mind in itself. That's a whole nother video, a whole nother conversation. Don't nobody want to talk about this stuff unless it's on your own doorstep. Oh yeah, let them come over, do this. They benefit, But when it's on your own doorstep, then you gonna have a problem with it. It has been said that these Venezuelan gangs are getting worser. I've even been hearing that there is an apartment building also in Dallas, Texas. Something similar to what has happened in Aurora, Colorado is happening with these Venezuelan gangs. I went to try to research it and look. I didn't find anything, but I think the name is called Versailles or something like that, apartments. But if anybody is in Dallas, Texas, you know about this, please let me know because I'm on the heels of this, okay?
They're here. Tried to tell y'all, the military-aged men that were coming across the border are here. The Venezuelan gang has taken over an apartment building in Aurora, Colorado. And as someone who owned a house that was worth $500,000 in Aurora, I can say that I'm very glad that I no longer have anything to do with that area. But what do y'all think? What do you think? What would you do? Would you just leave? I mean, these people cleaned out some gun shops up there, and the police won't even mess with them. So, also, nobody's mentioned squatter rights. Why do squatter rights still exist in Colorado? Meaning, if there's an empty house and you choose to go and take it over, you can squat there, and it's fucking legal. I know, right? You're wondering. I am too. Why is it still legal? So what would y'all do in that situation? Because it's not happening just in Denver and Aurora. It's happening other sanctuary cities. They're not regular people. And that is one thing I think people fail to realize is they're disguising themselves as window washers or this or that. And maybe some of them really are trying to be here and make a good living. But I just had a friend tell me that they came out of nowhere. At one day, they were all just there trying to wash windows. I just heard this today. And so they are not normal people that are here.
I called 911. No help comes for me. No help. We were on our own and we were left to die.
I mean, can you imagine being that woman? That's unreal. But help did come for that resident eventually. It was in the form of a city council member named Danielle Jinsky. She helped her move out of the apartment complex, and Jinsky has been sounding the alarm on these gangs, alleged to be migrants from Venezuela. But despite all the video evidence we have seen, Colorado Governor Jared Polis's office says it's a purported invasion that is, quote, largely a feature of Danielle Jinsky's imagination. And today he went a step further, telling the Angle, quote, if Danielle Jinsky has evidence of illegal activity in Aurora that can assist the investigation, it might even be illegal for her to withhold it from the Aurora Police Department, and she should file a report immediately. Joining me now is Danielle Jinsky, Aurora City Council member. Danielle, I just want to put up those statements for our viewers. A governor's office calling you out by name twice, saying that you are imagining this. It seems like Governor Polis is more interested in going after you than the alleged Venezuelan gangs.
That's right. I mean, that's what this has turned into, is complete political football. And now he is so focused on me, even though he heard for himself from Cindy Romero earlier. I know he heard what she had to say. So now Coloradans are speaking out about the terror, the fear that they lived in, their cars filled with bullet holes. And yet the governor is still only talking about me. I haven't heard from him or anybody what the plan is to address this transnational gang.
So welcome back, guys. I'm sure you've watched the video we've played for you. So let us know what you think about this episode. One thing I have to say is this situation, I have to say, looks like it's going to give birth to, let me just say, to civil war. Because these are foreigners coming into somebody else's land, and they're coming in to take what is not theirs, and they're taking it by force. They don't know the struggles that these citizens in America have gone through in order to own these properties or to rent in those properties. Right. My question is, guys, this is America, not just America, the great America. Let me just say that. Great America. Right. And when you look at the kind of questionable characters that are coming in as immigrants, and as they've said, these are the worst of the worst who've been released from Venezuelan prisons, right? So we are made to believe that these are not normal Venezuela asylum-seeking immigrants. And I'm asking myself, you know, because this area is not exactly close to the borders, okay? I'm like, how America is one of those places that literally, or according to me, it used to be very difficult for people to get in. Not just anybody was allowed to get into these countries. Background checks used to be run. Like, for you to get into it, there was a whole entire process. You understand? Yeah, and right now it seems like it has gotten so easy for illegals to get into America. These kind of illegals. And then what further baffles me is that the fact that residents from this region complain of them calling the police, and the police literally telling them that they cannot, their hands are tied, they cannot do anything about it unless something bad has happened. So my question is, are you waiting for this situation? Because when you're talking about gangs, and specifically gangs from those kind of countries, they're not exactly the easy type to deal with type of gangs, you know. So if they establish their base and foundation in that region, can you imagine the kind of criminal activities that will be going on? Because if the first action they did was get into Aurora and rob gun stores, what do you think they're going to do? Right, because guys, someone always says, and I usually believe, that in chaos like this, if the authorities are so slow to reacting, if the police are not doing anything, then someone in the government or someone big is benefiting from this situation intentionally. You know, they're creating this chaos intentionally. So guys, let us know what you think about this episode, but I don't see this ending well, because also, you know, when you look at this situation, is that it's a situation where Americans have really worked very hard, and right now they're feeling, everybody is feeling the impact of the high cost of living, only for immigrants to come and try and destabilize what Americans have built. It doesn't matter if it's white or black, all right? And you know, guys, it's this kind of immigrants, of course, the illegal ones, that ruin the name of the honest immigrants who have attained their work permits to go into America in the legal way. Because these very same illegals, you know, they're the ones who are going to devalue the job prices of the market, you know, and they make, you know, companies, they'd rather hire these cheap labors for these illegals than hire Americans, because Americans know what the value of the market is and what the value of what they should be paid is. Right. Another thing I also wanted to say is, when all this chaos is going, when all this chaos is going on, and you're like, this area has a governor, a governor who, let me remind you, was, and it has a councilwoman. A councilwoman was acting as the whistleblower who was trying to alert authorities into these illegal activities going on in these Venezuelan gangs, but she was being turned away. Every time she tried, every time she was being turned away. When this story started going viral on social media, especially the video where you see them holding pew-pews and trying to break into a house. Now the governor comes out and says that he wants to work with this councilwoman, when in the past he gave an interview, a press conference, saying that this councilwoman was crazy and these things were happening in her head and that Aurora didn't have this kind of problems. So my question is, why is the authority and the government, should they say just the government, why are they trying to gaslight the citizens who are living in these areas? Why is it that they're also not trying to do anything, and whatever it is they're trying to do is a very minimum effort?
Because, you know, as I said earlier, I do feel like this governor, at first he was denying all this chaos was happening until the viral video on TikTok blew up. He was denying it because you might find he is directly benefiting from this chaos.
Allegedly.
I'm just alleging.
Know.
He might be.
We don't know.
We don't know. He might be, but we don't know. Personally benefiting from this group, or if he is not benefiting from this group, he is affiliated to people who are benefiting from this group. Hence, he is obligated to protect their interest before his citizens' interest.
Yeah,
that is just my thought process. It's not like factual, or it's just what I'm thinking.
Let me just call them what they are without bias. These low life criminal Venezuelans. Where do they get the muscles to go into America? Something so unfathomable. They go into America and behave in a manner to suggest that, you know, they're not even afraid of anything. I feel like in America, there was a point in America where you wouldn't even carry a knife walking in the streets. Like, the respect you had for that country and the fear you had for getting deported was this high. So I think
as an immigrant,
although
also I feel like their gun policies, and it's what has led them to where they are right now, where anybody, even a child, can get access to guns. That is why even these low-life Venezuelan criminals come into the country and they automatically know they can get guns and where they can get these guns from.
This is truly a sad situation, guys, but stick around for part 2, because we are making a part 2 of this. Since the authorities have been accused of not doing much to help the situation, which I believe
citizens have taken it upon themselves to do something about it. We're just following this situation to know how it's gonna end up. But I do hope that the citizens of Aurora can get back each of their homes, and you know, they can
start feeling safe again in their own homes. Yeah, so guys, thank you so much for joining us. Let us know what you think about this episode in the comment section. Also, remember to subscribe if it's your first time here, and turn on the notification bell to get our new notifications of our new episodes. Let's catch you on our next.